Okay, welcome to video 2. This is the second video on how to teach new concept English. Again, my name is Michael Murphy. If you saw the first video, you already know that. Um, I've spent 11 years in China teaching mainly teachers how to teach English. I have taught students as well. I have been in over 30 universities here. I was featured on CCTV, which is the major network here in China. I've been featured on there about 30 or 40 times. I don't really know. And what's interesting is when I came to China in 2011, I really knew nothing at all about how to teach English to non-native English speakers. I just didn't know how to do it. I didn't know what's known as ESL, which is English as a second language. I didn't even know what that meant. And I came to China to teach English, but my plan was to come here for a year. And I had just gone through some life transitions, and I had the time and I had the opportunity to come here to see China. That was my plan. My plan was to come here, work a little bit, see China, go back to America. And what I saw right away was I saw that English could be taught a lot better in China. I had observed, like I said, I went to over 30 universities. I taught myself. I taught Chinese English teachers and Chinese English professors in colleges and in schools around China, Sichuan province, Beijing, Guangzhou, Shanghai, Shenzhen, Zhuhai, Chengdu, several different places, and I'm based in East Central China, which is in the city of Zhengzhou. And if you know of Shaolin Temple, then Shaolin Temple is under the jurisdiction here of the city that I live in, not too far from where I'm sitting right now. That's the Shaolin Temple. For those that don't know, is the birthplace of Kung Fu, the martial arts of Kung Fu. But I came here with that in mind. I came here, okay, I'm going to go to China. I've never been to China. I've been to a lot of other countries in the world, and I've done a lot of speaking in a lot of other countries in the world. I've done a lot of teaching in a lot of other countries in the world, but I'd never been to China. That was my plan. But what I saw amazing students, number one, absolutely amazing students, students that are able to sit at a desk for, 10 or 12 hours a day and study. I saw dedicated teachers, highly dedicated teachers. I saw the importance of education in China, the importance that each family puts on their child's education and what that family is willing to invest in their child, in the child's education, and how important that is. I saw these things. I saw a perfect opportunity to really do something to make a difference in people's lives. And, when you have that kind of purpose in your life, then you have something amazing to look forward to every day when you wake up. And so, anyway, I had planned to stay here 1 year, and now 11 years later, I'm still here. I created a school after my first year here. I created a school to where the goal is to take children from a zero basis level all the way through fluency and what we call mastery, which we call mastery. I'll talk about more about this later, but we talk mastery as a level above fluency even. And because mastery requires what we've found is that students that want to go to America or the UK or Australia, Canada, New Zealand, South Africa, they want to go to a native English-speaking country and they want to study for college. And, of course, most of those are going to Australia, the UK, or America. And so they need a high level. one of the other things about Chinese students is this, that the parents put a big importance on the university and how that university is ranked. Now, I never really heard, I mean, everybody knows Harvard and Princeton and Yale and Stanford and all of these great institutions, but I never heard anyone put a lot of emphasis on how colleges are ranked while I was living in America. When I got to China, it's a big deal. It's a very big deal. They want their kids in the best universities. They want them getting the best education they can possibly get, and they want those high school, those super highly ranked schools. And Harvard, of course, is the dream. Harvard, Cambridge, Oxford, these type of schools, Yale, Princeton, these type of schools are really the ultimate dream of a Chinese student. What I didn't realize was, once I dug in deeply, and I did it very quickly, because I had students that were hungry for achieving these higher results of taking the SAT and getting a high score on the SAT, or taking the TOEFL exam, which is an English assessment exam that's required in America. They wanted a high score in all of these. And the IELTS exam in the UK-based schools, including the British-based schools in Australia and New Zealand and Canada. These parents, for their kids, they wanted their kids in these top schools, these top-ranked schools, and to get them there, we couldn't just get a kid to fluency. We couldn't just get them to, in the CEFR levels, the standard of the CEFR, the Common European Framework. We couldn't just get them to a C1 or C2 level. We had to get them beyond that. We couldn't just get them to a native level of English fluency. We had to go above that to get them where they could get a high score on the SAT. It was a big challenge. It was a daunting challenge, but the parents and the demand and the willingness and to invest the time and the money and more time and hard work for the student, the parents' willingness to invest that in their child to achieve those kind of results, I saw that it existed here in China. And I had never seen that. I've been to over 30 countries, and I'd never seen it at that level that it is here. I'm sure that it is in South Korea. I'm sure that it is in Japan and some of the other Asian countries, but I had personally never witnessed it. But I saw it here, and so I said, I can do something here, and I can help these kids. Very quickly, I started teaching doctors who were wanting to go and get certain training in America at Johns Hopkins University, Johns Hopkins Medical Center, Harvard Medical School, and other well-known colleges, top-ranked colleges in America. I had doctors coming to me, and they said, can you teach me this? And the truth was, of course, what do I know about medicine? What do I know about all of these terms? But I dug in. I did what I needed to do to prepare myself to teach them. And we started seeing results right away. We got one student, a young girl. She was actually a high school student. We got her to a level of mastery in English, and she scored high enough on the SAT. We helped her with her application process. I personally gave recommendations for her, and she got accepted to Princeton University. She not only got accepted, but I talked to Princeton further, and she got a full paid scholarship to Princeton. And she actually needed the full paid scholarship, or she wouldn't have been able to go. And but she scored at that time. The SAT exam was a little bit different, and she scored the equivalent to what would be about today out of the 1,600 points that are possible to get on the SAT. She scored the equivalent to about a 1480, and I thought that was amazing. However, our average student now is doing better than that. They're doing 50 points higher than that. Our average student will score she had a 1480. Our average student today will get about a 1530. I think is what our average is for our students today out of 1,600 points. That'll get them into any university in the world, provided that all the other things that are required by the university or the college other requirements are met. But we were able to do that. I was able to take a doctor and start training her, and I spent 2 years with her. Her English, I couldn't understand her when I first met her. I started meeting with her, 2 or 3 times every single week, and she would put certain demands on me that she had vocabulary that she had to learn because she wanted to go to a medical school and actually earn another MD, another doctorate of medicine in America, even after she had already earned one here. So she had a great foundation of understanding medicine, but that needed to be translated into where she could go to a school that was in a native English-speaking country. And so I worked with her. I failed to ask her for quite some time where she was planning to go in America, and I later found out she went to Harvard Medical School, and she graduated from there. But I prepared her for 2 years, mainly just to be able to communicate and hear and listen, so she could learn English. And that's what I was able to do. So I found out that I could really affect some lives in China in a very with a strong impact in a very impactful way. I could do that, and it proved to be not a quirk. It proved to be that we've had. I tell everybody I'm very, very lucky because I get amazing students. Well, for the last 11 years, I've gotten a lot of amazing students. And really, my part to play in their lives is being able to take them by the hand and get their English to a level so that they can go to these Western universities and colleges and do what they do, and that is study there and achieve more and more and more. So I had one part to play in that, and that was the English part, which was the most critical part that they didn't have. And I found out why. So in this series of the New Concept English books, you're going to find out that the books are very popular in China, but they're taught as a grammar-based learning system. And if you read only the introduction to the first book, which I have here in my hand, this is book 1. If you read the introduction, here's L.G. Alexander, the author, and a co-author is I don't know. This is not in English. So there was a Chinese co-author here. Maybe he did the editing, or maybe the translation. I don't know. But if you read only the introduction to this, it teaches you how to teach the series of books. As I said, there's 4 books. This is book 1. It's called First Things First. It says right here, First Things First. And the way that this book was being taught, in my personal opinion, was not the best way. And it was because this book was being used as a grammar-based system, which, if you read the introduction, it's not that at all. Once I read the introduction, I knew how to teach teachers how to teach this series of books. And this series of books, anybody that knows anything at all about English training in China or in Asia, this is the #1 book. This is the Bible for teaching English in especially in China. Okay, and so everybody knows these. Every parent knows these books. Every student knows these books. And as I dug into the introduction, I found out the scientific method that it's called the building block method. Now, Dr. Alexander does not call it that in the book, but I know it now as what's called the building block method, and that is basically where you're teaching at the very beginning of a person's English education. You're teaching them just basic phrases, basic sentences, and basic vocabulary, basic grammar, okay? But the important thing is to lay down that foundation of speaking. This is what was not being done that I saw here. There was no foundation of speaking. They jumped straight into grammar, and they tried to learn English by studying grammar. And you'll see what Dr. Alexander actually even had to say in the introduction to this first book as we get into it. I've highlighted some things in the introduction that I'm going to share with you. So that gives you a little bit of understanding of foundation of what I've been able to do here in China. My focus has been predominantly, I've been in thousands of classrooms here. I've seen tens of thousands of students, and I've taught probably well over 1,000 teachers, Chinese English teachers, how to teach English. And I've done some writing here. I used to be a blogger. I used to be the #1 blogger on China Daily newspaper. But I've been on television here, CCTV, about 30 or 40 times because of what I've been able to do here. And it's been an amazing ride for me. You know, I'm not just telling you my success and how I've been able to do this, and this. I had no idea when I came here that I could or would do what I've seen happen in the last decade of my life. And so what I want to do is what I will be doing in the next video. We'll dig into the introduction. I'm going to read you my highlights. If you have this book, if you don't have this book, you can get it on Amazon. You can get it just about on any type of, just search for it. Google it, New Concept English. Google it, Book 1. This is the student's book here. This is what we'll go through first, especially in the introduction. Then we'll look at the exercises. On how to teach the exercises. And not only that, if you're a student, this is going to be highly beneficial to you as well, because I'm going to tell you how to study this book so you can achieve some of the things that I've seen numerous students of mine be able to achieve. So stay with me. This is video #2. I'm going to keep the videos about 20 minutes on each time. Right now, we're about 19 minutes on this one. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video at this time. If you've not subscribed to my channel, please do so. If you like what you're hearing, please like my video. Turn on the notification bell, and you'll be able to know when I've got a new video coming out. Okay. So I will see you on the next video.